Hello, I'm Scott Bogey, and I did an interview with Tracy Reeder ahead of his fight this weekend against Pena Allamov at Fury 95. Enjoy. About that fight and how it has today been so far?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I'm super excited just to get back in there. Fighting for an organization like Fury, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. Everybody's going to be tough. So I'm prepared for a tough fight, man. Day's going good, bro. Already got the first training session down. Um, one more to go.
Exactly. So how does a normal week look for you? Like what how do you break out of the week for your training sessions and that?
Shit, man. I mean, every day we got something either at 9 or at noon, and then something at night, and then I don't want to make it sound like we're not in a routine because we are in a routine as far as like we're training every day,
Yeah,
twice a day, but we're very like by the cuff. What we're doing. So kind of just depends on how I'm feeling, how the team's feeling, what we need. But it's every day, twice a day, and then something on our own. That's the recipe, man.
and coming into this fight, it was you in your last fight. It was a defeat to, I think it was Nico Ichireri.
Mhm.
That was by unanimous decision. How did you feel that fight went?
Man, I feel like I definitely didn't fight my best fight. I had some things going on, but also just a lot of just not pulling the trigger.
Yeah,
So all easy fixes. Uh, Also, I don't. It's just always weird losing a decision because you're just like, man, yeah, I don't feel like I lost. Like I just
yeah,
kind of, I did, and I damn sure didn't get my ass whooped. It's not like I left out of there all beat the fuck up or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So you just are, you just leave a little mad at yourself, like knowing like, you could have done more. But I don't plan on that being the case really any longer. I feel like I
yeah,
just overthink things sometimes, and now I'm not.
exactly. And you definitely weren't beat up in that fight. You're back making a quick return 3 months after your last fight. What did you think you had the most success with in that last fight?
Man, anytime I let my hands go, I hit him and hurt him. Like it was just like I said, it was just a lot of being gun shy and a lot of just playing the game too much on bottom too. Whenever I know I could get up, um, just just not progressing all the time, like just progressing whatever the situation is, progressing, and then on the feet, just not letting my hands go enough. But every time I did, I was successful. And I know the type of fighter I am. I'm a great fighter. I haven't scratched my potential out there yet, but I'm looking forward to when that day comes.
Exactly. And you've definitely got power in your hands. So whenever someone is standing in front of you, they do have to be careful. Was there anything in that fight that he surprised you with that you weren't aware of it?
Oh man, I mean, he was a strong guy. I knew he was going to be tough because he's a vet. Like he's got kind of a deceiving record because he's fought a lot of tough guys. Um, but just his grappling was really good and strong. I didn't expect for him to just really want to take me down that quick. I figured
Yeah,
that he'd want to strike. Because if you look at my fights, like I haven't really shown um to be like I mean, there's just not a lot. I haven't shown a lot at all, really. A lot of my fights have taken place on the ground. So I figured that's what he'd want to do. So that kind of caught me off guard. But I mean, shit. I've been taken down before. Anything that could happen has happened to me, either in the cage and training. I have a lot of experience in the cage now, so um, you know, there really shouldn't be anything ever surprise me ever. It's a fight. I know that a multitude of things could happen.
exactly. And was there any, did you think that you're fighting on that card? Sinese, I think that's how you pronounce it. Is it Hector Sinez? You
Yeah,
did
yeah,
lose
Hector.
to you did lose to him beforehand, and then he did have I think the title shot in the next fight. Did you feel like
Oh,
that was a missed opportunity?
I mean, any fight lost, especially by decision, as a missed opportunity, But I mean, any of us are all two or three good wins away from getting a title shot all the time, just because everybody's fighting everybody. Everybody in Fury's good. So you string three good wins together, especially by finish. I mean, you're always right back where you were. So I don't really think of it as like a missed opportunity. I needed the fight. Obviously, I need as
Yeah,
much experience. I just need experience. He's a good fighter, so to get in there and have 15 minutes with him is super good for me. Um, so and fuck it, like it's not like he really whooped the shit out of me.
no, exactly. Yeah,
I lost a decision, but I can go in there and fight with anybody. So you know, missed opportunity. There's going to be more opportunity. Like I don't really give a shit about all that. You know what I'm saying?
now, speaking about this fight coming up, what is the mindset going into it? How do you think Pena is going to try and fight you?
Shit, we're gonna fucking find out, aren't we?
Yes,
I, I don't.
we'll definitely
I
find
don't
out
know
on the
what.
day.
I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do, man. I got my ideas, but I'm more worried about what I'm gonna try to do, and go out there and hit him with some good shit, not get hit, and win positional battles. I mean, and always look to be progressing. And I feel like if I do that, it really doesn't matter what the fuck he's coming with. I'm gonna be ready for it, and I'm sure he'd say the same thing. So that's why I'm just, August 2nd, you know.
Yeah, and he definitely struggled in that last fight against I think it was Yadir. I think it was Yadir Davali, if I pronounced that correct. Do you think that fight actually showed his weaknesses during that fight?
Man, it was weird as I watched that fight live,
Yeah,
like on Fight Pass before I even knew I was fighting the guy. So I was just kind of watching it. It's kind of cool that I got to watch it like without like
knowing,
the
yeah,
mindset of like I'm fighting the guy, and man, I was just watching the fight, and like if you would have asked me right then and there, hey, what do you think would happen if you fought that guy? I would be like, well, I think I'd beat the shit out of his ass. So, um, I don't really know if it exposed him or anything. I mean, it was just a good fight. He lost a decision. He didn't get his ass whooped, right? It
yeah,
was a decision, right? He didn't get
yeah,
finished.
yeah. It was a
Yeah, I mean,
decision.
fuck. I mean, he's a tough guy that can go 15 minutes. Is what I took from it, So I plan on it being a tough guy in front of me that can go 15 minutes.
Exactly, and you definitely have the power of being able to get that finish over him. Now, your last couple of fights have been in that co-main event slot. Do you think now that you're now just on the main card, Tina has taken a wee bit of the pressure off this fight and will allow you to showcase your skills just a bit more?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It doesn't matter if I'm fighting the main event because I've been in the main event on other
Yeah,
shows. Co-main event. It is just like this motherfucker. We're about to fight, dude. It doesn't matter how many fights are after before. Like it's always the main event to me. I don't give a fuck about anybody else on the card. Just like the other guys on the card don't really give a fuck about me. So um, it doesn't really do shit at all. Um, it's the third guy in a row that I've been fighting in his hometown. So
yeah,
that's always fucking just it's not like the crowd is a mind fuck. You just always know, like, not even to say anything about the last two fights that I had judging wise, but it's just like you already know, like you just know I'm not gonna win a decision. So like there is always that, but it doesn't really matter because if I go out there and fight my best, it doesn't matter. you know.
yeah. I was gonna bring that up just now. Is that you are fighting him in his hometown? So, do you feel like if it does go to decision, it is just going to go to him?
I mean, not if I do it convincingly enough, but like then I ain't gonna win a toss up. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? But if I have a toss up with this guy, I mean, what the fuck do I care who it goes to? That's on me for leaving it a fucking toss up. You know, I plan on going out there and when it's over, everybody's convinced. so then it won't matter. So it doesn't matter if it's in Dallas or wherever, if we're in Tulsa, it doesn't matter, I need to convince everybody, you know.
And do you
So,
think your experience is going to help with that because you have got more fights than him under your belt?
well, I've got more fights, but he does have a lot of cage time because most of his fights are decision. Early in my career,
Yeah.
a lot of my fights were super quick. So it was like I was almost getting robbed of experience a little bit, even in my amateur career. I mean, all my amateur wins were less than 60 seconds. So, um, I don't, I mean, I feel like I'm more experienced, but I'm not thinking that he's going to be like, like fighting a guy who's got one pro fight, like
Yeah.
the motherfucker knows how to fight. I've seen him fight 100 times. So, and I know how to fight. Everybody's seen me fight 100 times. So, you know, I just think that me being a better fighter is what's going to really pay dividends, not experience or anything else.
And going back to Fury FC 83, you got the win in the first round, rear naked choke against Jacob Capoli. Now, after that fight, you did run into the crowd and did break your toe. Just explain that just a bit to me a bit more.
Well, man, I was playing it. So that was Fury came to my hometown. Well, not my hometown, but like 30 minutes from my hometown. So, I just wanted to do something cool for everyone. Like I figured jump in the crowd, like celebrating with everyone, that'd be cool, And
Yeah.
I didn't I jumped back up onto the cage like from the ground, like something I didn't even know if I could really even do it when I did it. And then I kind of stumbled. And then they just like, I was just joking. I was like, oh, I think I broke my toe, And then it got blown way out of proportion. I think I was on some like Fight Pass shit for it too. And I was like,
Yeah. It's like the Foley Award.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, the folly is on y'all because I didn't even really break my toe, So, but it was cool. It was just in Tulsa. Wanted to do something cool. I almost got in trouble, by the commission, I guess. So, won't be doing that again anytime soon.
Well, you didn't manage to win the award. It was that did go to the commentators who didn't even know each other's names. So there is
They
that.
just didn't understand the layers to my folly about how I didn't even really break my toe. If they did, you know what I'm saying? But they don't know, brother. They don't know.
Exactly. Now, this is your fifth fight with Fury FC. How has the organization been to you, and how have you found it so far?
Oh, I love it. I love it, man. They're the best. And it's just the exposure, the
Yeah,
the knowing the knowing you're gonna get a matchup. Because before I was signed with Fury, it was always tough for me to get matches. Um, I'm sure it's a little bit easier now that I got some L's on my record, but like back then when I was like 5-0, 5-1, it was always really tough. And Fury is always getting you matched. They have a show all the time. Every fucking
yeah,
month they got 2 shows, it seems like. So um, it sucks having to go to Houston and really, really Texas in general, bro. I just don't even really like fighting in Texas at all. So that's always in Texas. But I love Fury, man. I can't say enough shit. I got another 4 fights with him after this. So um, yeah, those guys have been great.
yeah, exactly. Because they had a show, I think it was like last weekend, and they've got one coming up this weekend as well. So the cards are there for you to get on. How did this fight come about against Pena? Were you given his name, or did Fury come to you, or what? Did you have a few other names you were talking about?
Uh, I don't really even remember. I think just my manager sent me over a name, and he was like, you want this? I was just like, yeah. I mean, that's how it always goes. Really, they
Yeah,
send me a name, and then if as long as it's not like the only reason I've ever turned down a fight is just for a timeline thing. Like if I just no, I'm not gonna fight. Like
yeah,
like if I fight in August, I'm fighting in August, and they turn me around and they're like, "Hey, you want to fight again at the end of August?" Well, that would be a timeline issue. I'd be like, "No." Or if I didn't fight again until December, whatever.
yeah.
So that's how it always goes. They send me, my manager will send me whoever, and then I'll be like, "Okay, send the contract." And it's pretty. That's how it goes every time. It's pretty routine.
And do you have a timeline from when you're wanting to get back into the cage after this? Are you wanting to get back in there quite quickly? Are you wanting to spend some time with family or that?
Um, I never really know until like the week after the fight, you know, uh, because there's just so much up and down, and like some days you're like, fuck it, let me get in there right now next week, and then like a day or two goes by, or who knows, you know. So it all depends on damage too, you know.
Yeah.
So, but right now the way my mind thinks is that I want to try to get two more fights in this year. So, um, that would mean that I wouldn't really have a whole lot of time of sitting on my ass. But we'll see. You know, I don't really like to make that decision too far in advance.
No, that is completely fine and understandable. Now, you have fought at welterweight before. However, the majority of your career, I think it was just everyone apart from that one, has been at lightweight. Is this your natural weight class?
Well, here's the thing, bro. Like, if you really look back, and honestly, like, there's some shit back with like a local promotion in Tulsa I used to fight for, or like if you look on Tapology, it doesn't really reflect this, but like so many of my opponents have missed weight, or like the week of weigh-ins, been like, hey, can we bump it up? Like the fight I had at welterweight, that was a late notice bump up. Like it's always like in my second fight, my second pro fight, my third pro fight, my fourth and my sixth pro fight, my opponents all missed weight. And then when I fought Jacob Capelli, they called and were like, he's going to miss weight. You know, so that's the only reason I've ever fought above 155. I don't have any trouble making 155. You know, it's not fucking great, but I mean, I've been doing this shit forever. I'm not,
Yeah,
you know, I'm a professional. So, yeah, I prefer to fight at 155. But, you know, if the guy's gonna miss weight, like that really just makes me only want to fight him more. So I can never really be like, no, I'm not fighting you at 165.
yeah. I was just gonna bring that up. Because they have now missed weight, does that give you even more motivation to go out and get that finish?
I don't really think there could be any more motivation than already exists. You know, um, I think it's just like I don't know. It's just like what is it like, man? It's just it's just a bitch move. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because it's just like it's just a hoe move. Like we agreed like forever ago, and then like you just couldn't do it. You're
exactly.
just a
And you put the effort in, you got down to it. It's like, have they even tried?
yeah. Well, it's just like, dude, we this is what we said we were gonna do. Like, imagine if I said I was gonna do something and I didn't do it. Like, bitch move, you know.
Yeah,
So, especially in this sport, because there's only two things we agree to: is that we're gonna weigh this way the night before, and then the next day we're gonna fight. Like,
yeah.
it's the
No,
easiest fucking job in the world. Two things, but the sport has the dumbest motherfuckers in it, and we can only get one of the things done sometimes, you know.
yeah, exactly. And speaking about more Fury FC or the whole, they are on UFC Fight Pass, like you said. Do you think that brings more exposure to your name and helps you build that up even further?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, that's everything, bro. Like everybody wants to fight on Fight Pass. You know, that's you ask any pro fighter like if they want to be on fighting on Fight Pass or if they want to be fighting on some other bullshit, and they're all gonna be like, I want to be fighting on Fight Pass.
Yeah. And do you also feel like with this card here, it does bring more exposure due to the people that are already on the card? Like, for example, I'm pretty sure the co-main you have Reyes Cortez, who is the UFC fighter Tracy Cortez's brother. Do you think that brings more eyes onto it as well?
Shit, I didn't even know that. So, you know, maybe. I don't know. You know what I do think? I think that it being on a Friday instead of a Sunday, Fury's normally on a Sunday. That's so fucking weird. Fighting on a Sunday just always feels weird. And it feels weird when you leave the fights because it happens midday. You leave the
Yeah,
fights till daytime outside. That shit never gets normal. So I am excited to be fighting on a Friday night, normal fucking time and shit when people should be fighting, not church time and shit like that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess if Cortez is on here, that'd be pretty cool. That means Tracy Cortez will be there, huh? Probably.
I think she will.
My name's Tracy too.
Tracy and Tracy goes well together. Do you feel like with it being the Friday night, do you think that also brings more people to come into watching it? Because like you're saying, there's not going to be during church time. They're going to be able to come and watch it.
Well, dude, the biggest thing is if it's on a Sunday, bro, and people travel, like, then they got to miss Monday at work. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Now nobody's really got to miss shit, or they just take like a half day on Friday or whatever. Like, I know there's a shitload of people I know that are traveling to Dallas to watch me scrap with this dude. So, you know, but I feel like if it was on a Sunday, that wouldn't be the case.
yeah. Now, speaking about the event as a whole, do you have a prediction for the main event? Is there any other fights on the card that you're into just now?
Who is the main event? I don't even know.
It's Austin Lingo versus Cam Teague.
Uh, Shit, man, it's gonna be a draw. Who knows? Who the fuck knows, man? I think one of my former opponents is on this card, Darren Whitney. I think he's fighting uh, on
I
this card. I
think
think
so.
he's
Yeah,
fighting it. I think he's got a welterweight fight, man. You know, he's I made friends with him after the fight, you know, so he's just a cool dude that I hope to see do well. You know, other than that, I don't know who else is on the card. Um, you know, I'm pretty focused on myself.
yeah. No, that's fair enough. You do have that fight to be prepared for. Now, just before we do end this interview, is there anyone else you're wanting to shout out, or is there anything else you're wanting to say?
Oh shit, bro. Shout outs, man. Shout out Clinch Martial Arts and everybody at Clinch Martial Arts. I don't even want to start naming names because then I'm gonna fuck up and forget, and then it's gonna be mad, and they're gonna do like that passive aggressive thing. We're like, oh, you didn't mention me, but it's cool, but it's really not cool. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so everybody at Clinch, you know, all of my sponsors, fuck, uh, Rogers County Trico. I know there's 8, so bear with me. Coburn Realty, Meats and More, uh, Fine Lines Painting, uh, Revitalization by son of a bitch. I don't even know. Sorry, guys. Hopefully they don't see this. Rock Construction, DG4 Property Bros.
Last one.
Who the fuck knows, man? I love them. I love them. And my girlfriend Lauren, you know, for you see this, you know, that's hers. You know what I'm saying? So that's she really takes care of me.
Well, that's good to hear. And good luck for your fight. If you guys are in Texas during the time of Fury FC 95, which is at the beginning of August, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like the 2nd of August.
That's right.
Make sure to go and get tickets for the event. Fury FC put on amazing shows. It'll be a joy to watch. And if you aren't able to make it in person, make sure you watch it online on UFC Fight Pass. Thank you, Tracy, for coming onto the show. It was great to interview you.
And Pro Plumbing. Shout out and Pro Plumbing. How could I
Definitely get that
forget?
pro plumbing in there. Thank you very much.
Thank